Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 67, and we are at the NRA annual convention.
143rd to be exact.
9 acres of guns and gear.
In Indianapolis,
Yep.
Indiana,
Heck yeah.
the convention center.
I'd ask you what you did with guns, but this is kind of what you did.
Yeah, well, actually, this is our first show in, what, 2 weeks? So,
Yeah, well, no, they got part 2.
I know, but since we've actually done the show, since we
Very true.
did the recordings. But
As I eat a mouthful
I mean,
of popcorn.
I've done quite a bit with guns, but this by far, getting ready to come to this big exhibit and show, it's been great. I've been really looking forward to it. I'm glad we're here. I'm more relaxed than I was last year.
Yeah.
Because that was our first show of any, this magnitude.
You know what's weird? Last year, nobody knew who the hell we were.
They still don't.
No.
Isn't that weird?
I took 3 different pictures from the Miltech booth over here. That's why it took me so long to get back over here.
Yeah.
People were stopping me. Hey, can I get your picture?
And nobody said a word to me.
It's because you get to blend
I
in.
took the same path that you took. Well, my hair kind of. Actually, I did have a couple of people recognize me because of my hair. So when I cut my hair, nobody's going to recognize me.
I got to stick out like a freaking nature sort.
You love it.
Squatch man.
You freaking eat it up. I was telling another guy that was up here with us that I guarantee you, because you're going over there to hang out with the Reaper guys, give them the shirt because they're going to be on the NRA show. I said, I guarantee you, he weaseled his way on, and he's on TV right now.
No,
he's not answering his phone.
No, it wouldn't be.
He's about an hour behind.
Yeah. No, I didn't get on TV.
Not to say you won't. There's still opportunity.
Hey, we'll try. We'll try to get there. But if you watch our Select Fire show, we had a guest. Was it the first one we did?
Second one, wasn't it?
Second one, yeah. So with the
Number
second
2.
Select Fire we did, named Bon, and he is the founder, owner, awesome soap guy
Creator
from Fight
of
Soap.
Fight Soap.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Glad to be here.
Welcome in, man.
Appreciate in very rainy Indianapolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rainy and a little chilly. Popcorn came flying out of my mouth.
Man. No more popcorn for you. You can forget about it.
Bon is the founder, creator of Fight Soap.
Oh, and we got to give Lone Wolf
yes.
a shout-out. We are at the top of the Lone Wolf Distributors display booth again this year. And
got
kudos
the panorama view again
to our buddy Zach for setting that up for us.
And you'll be seeing our review of their Timberwolf here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Once we get back.
And then we're going to have him on a little bit later,
rest.
too, and get everybody caught up on what they got going on.
Heck yeah.
You say something about breast?
Rest.
I like breasts.
I do too.
Breasts are great.
They're nice. And we're not talking about chicken, right?
And they come in all shapes and sizes. They're awesome.
Yes.
Bon,
we ask questions to everybody. There's like 5 or 6 little questions.
Oh boy.
Your first time on, and you missed it because of the Select Fire. We don't do it on the Select Fire, but now that you're on the radio show,
the big show.
the big show,
The big show.
you're going to get hit with the questions. You ready?
All right, fire away, sir.
How did you originally get into firearms?
Well, through Fight Soap, actually. It was a natural progression. I did a lot of fighting, martial arts, and what triggered me to personally get into firearms more was when I got married and when I had a family. So, and I live in Cheshire, Connecticut.
Oh,
yeah, exactly, the
go.
Cheshire Massacre. So I am taking matters in my own hands.
good.
So
Smart man.
and that's I think that's the spirit of two-way as well.
Are you looking at going to a more freedom-loving state at some point?
Or are you going to fight that battle there for us?
Well, we'll try fighting it for now.
Yeah.
The thing is, family's there.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
of course, like I've been asked that question by so many people already,
Sure.
especially the guys out in Florida. I've had all my friends out there like, "Hey, when are you coming to Florida? When are you coming to Florida? It's nice and sunny here. It's all mucky down there."
Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
Hey,
Pollen.
There you go. I love Tennessee. Like Chattanooga.
No,
was really
no
nice.
state income tax. That's why a lot of businesses
I
move
am,
there.
I am telling my wife. I'm texting my wife in a few minutes. We are moving out.
You coming to Tennessee?
I just paid my taxes.
We got mountains.
so-
We got water.
Beretta
rivers.
just moved to Tennessee. Volkswagen just moved to Chattanooga.
Amazon.
Amazon's there. A lot of big companies
Awesome.
are moving there because of the no
Well,
state income tax thing.
Something to think
We even have
about.
Walmarts.
Are they all over though?
Yeah.
And then I don't have to order my
They're
Fight
like
Soap
Walgreens.
online. I'll just drive down there.
There you go. Yes, no. So yeah, that was it. It was more for like me being able to protect my family.
Okay.
That was the biggest catalyst of them all.
Well, we need more people like you to stay in those states that are struggling with this to be a voice and be a backbone for us instead of people just moving away and letting them run them out.
And there are a lot of people, like even my family in particular, like my brother-in-law, my father-in-law. They are pro two-way, NRA members, and we talk about the current situation of the state whenever we have family gatherings.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we know you don't have any military or law enforcement background, but you do have a martial arts background.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that.
Well, being a small guy, I am...
And he's smaller than me.
There you go. Yep. And I'm a $120 soaking wet. So I have to learn how to...
He's the epitome of Bruce Lee.
I have to learn to mess people up if they mess with me,
Yeah, exactly.
Got to be able to kick back.
But see, it's always guys like you that I'm afraid of. Because I'm like, those guys have learned stuff in there.
And I see
small,
guys...
quiet, unassuming guys.
Don't worry, I see guys like you, Zeke, and I'm like, I'm staying away. The guy's probably 7 foot, 3...
But see, we're nice. We're gentle giants. Everybody says that. Like Adam
They
Peany,
all have weak spots, Vaughn.
Have you met
the ankles?
Have you met
knees,
the knees,
backs.
Have you met Adam Peany before? Used to be with LWRC.
I am looking forward to meeting him, actually.
We'll make sure we could do an intro with you. But when he first met me at SHOT Show, he's like, I turned around and I wanted to grab my knife and stab you in the face. I was like, why? He was like, because you look like freaking Sasquatch, and I was scared.
That's his new nickname, by the way, Squatch.
Oh,
Squatch.
great.
Yep.
Yeah,
Squatch.
now it's on the air. Yippee.
Yep. It's out there for everyone to know. Send in your comments.
The Squatch. We should have shirts made.
Squatch.
The Squatch.
Yeah.
Talking Lead Squatch.
Talking Lead Squatch.
It's a Squatch.
Ooh, we could do like a Squatch walking through the woods with an AK or something.
Or you.
Thanks.
Just take a picture of you with an AK.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Blur it out like that famous picture.
Well, I did one of those.
No, I don't remember.
When we were at the Talking Lead Ranch.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I'll repost it.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I got to see that.
We'll have to put it on Instagram. Because I don't think we had Instagram when we did
No,
that.
we didn't have Instagram then.
Yeah.
I've got it on here. I'll show it to you.
Got it. Yeah, for martial arts, and then it came to a point where, aside from exercise, it was great therapy for me because I was going through depression, and that was one of the things that was suggested that I do.
The martial arts.
Yeah, just staying busy, and from there, it was good. It was good for my health, and I started becoming very competitive.
Sure.
And that's how I started the business, and even that's how I met my wife.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do
Through
martial
martial
arts?
arts?
Through martial arts.
That's very
through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, wow.
Is that your sole course of study?
Yeah, that's like my main art at this point. I've done a lot, but I've just like that particular sport.
It's the only one I've really done. I mean, I dabbled with the Taekwondo when I was a kid, like every kid does.
Yeah, like I did that too.
But the Jiu-Jitsu I liked because I know, as weird as this sounds, I was in the class with a bunch of MTSU football players, so a lot of them were bigger than me. And I learned things that I could do because of my long, lanky arms and legs that somebody your size couldn't do, or somebody muscle-bound couldn't do.
Yeah, and exactly, that is just looking at
the leverage and stuff.
Yeah, and I've I am always the smallest guy in class. Left hand is just showing me the Sasquatch right now, and it's awesome.
Thanks.
I
don't delete anything.
Appreciate that.
I want to repost that photo. Do a little bit of Photoshop.
Was I at least carrying a gun in that picture?
No.
Oh, great.
Yeah, your holster's peeking out a little bit.
Right? Okay, cool. But yeah, you were saying there's all the different things you can do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I go into competition, when I go into class, I am always the lightest guy. And that it's great that it's that kind of confidence that you have walking around in the world, that you're not just going to be like thrown around like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's fascinating the different things you can do with that art, because one thing I never learned, and I never would have thought this. I mean, you watch a UFC match or something, you think, oh, I want to be on top, beating the crap out of the guy. I was horrible on top, but in my guard, I was phenomenal. I could do little things underneath.
Yeah, same
the guy.
here. Like
I was like, so now if I ever got in a fight, like if we're at a bar tonight and you see me get in a fight, I'm going to my back. And people will look at it like, what the hell? But I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know? It's kind of wild.
And it's very nice because, like, during my study of the martial arts, I came up with this whole thing that jiu-jitsu is like a microcosm of life. Especially like my life. When you are like down below, when you have like the weight of the world, or like, your opponent on you,
Right.
you just want to give up.
Right.
You know, you can't breathe, you can't do anything. But the thing is, if you have that knowledge and that kind of like perseverance and even that confidence to know that there is a way out of this, you'll get out of it eventually.
Sure.
You know, and that's my life in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
So that's why I love
not
really
physically, but mentally, it
yeah.
I like that.
It
parallel.
healed you.
Yeah, and even like when I am under pressure, martial arts or anything like even like specific tactical training where you are under very high stress situations.
Competition shooting.
Yeah, competition shooting, like even, you know, like if you want to do like the whole tactical combat shooting sort of deal,
Combat focus.
combat focus or whatever, you think much clearer when you, and everything starts to slow down when things start getting hairier. When you are under stress, that's when you think clearer. That's the mindset that I developed, and I love that.
Yeah.
It became very useful in life.
When it comes to pop culture, whether it's movies, TV shows, books, video games, whatever, if it involves firearms, what's your go-to?
Right
What's
now,
like your favorite?
oh my God, a lot.
First thing comes to mind. Could be an old
Probably
book,
Jason,
old movie.
right now it's like the Jason Statham movies.
Oh yeah, like the Transporter movies.
Yeah,
and everything?
transport movies, like the
Expendables?
latest one, like the not that, not a big fan, not really. That's like,
But they're
you
so
know,
realistic.
Yeah, not that.
Yeah.
Like the new one, like his newest one was I think it was Homefront. I think.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. Is it good?
It was really
I've
good
seen that one.
Yeah.
because it wasn't like Expendables. Like I am not gonna get shot. I'm gonna shoot shotguns with
throw
my
knives.
pinky.
He's pulling knives out of his hair,
Yeah,
under his
and then I'm gonna
arm.
shoot
his
with it.
hair. Jason Statham was pulling out his hair.
Yeah.
His bald head,
Okay.
the hair of his ass.
Yeah, like explosions don't faze me. Like we are not getting.
The point was he was pulling knives where knives didn't belong.
Yeah.
Yes, there you
Pulling
go.
from-
Well, like just like the very realistic movies are nice. That's because that was like the last movie that I've watched that actually blew my mind. Because
Did
he
you
was
see
actually,
Lone Survivor? You seen it yet?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, the Lone Survivor movie.
Yeah.
that
Talking
was
about
awesome.
blowing
That
your
was
mind.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. I was at the point of like even my wife. We were at the point of just like tearing up because it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's like very powerful the way they portray that.
Yeah.
And it was very accurate, very believable. You know, it was. That's the point. Like it was accurate. They had like
Yeah.
real.
They went to
people
great
filming.
lengths to make it authentic.
Yeah, authentic. There you
Yeah.
go. That's the word that I was looking for, and that was
Even
it
by
was
having
great.
Marcus in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
Little
It was.
clips of him in there.
That little Easter egg, Marcus in the movie.
Yep.
Clean that up.
Yeah. Here's your first op. Clean that up. Has there been a gun, or is there currently a gun in your collection that maybe a little bit of you is ashamed to admit to owning?
All right, now I am proud of all my guns. Actually,
Good.
That's good, man.
I'm very proud. Some I can't really talk about because I am in Connecticut,
Right?
and I'd like to,
and you're everything you have is
we
legal.
are staying. Yeah,
for where you're
it's,
at.
it's all legal. That's the thing. But we'd rather stay. Keep everything on the down low,
Low-key,
and
right.
very low key.
You have the legal stuff for Connecticut.
Yes, everything is. I am compliant. Let's put
There
it
you
that
There you
way.
go. There you go.
Good word.
We got to cover your
Compliant.
cover
Very
your
compliant.
ass.
I'm very compliant.
And speaking of compliant, apparently we can carry here
Really?
because Hank had his on,
Oh, I may have to go back
and
to the
he
hotel.
showed me a little thing on the website that said that
They're allowing for this conversation.
yeah, for here,
Is it
but
just for this show or for the stage?
just for
itself?
this show.
Oh, okay.
This stadium, because we pulled it up, and on the stadium's website or
The
convention center,
Yeah.
it says that firearms are not allowed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
NRA
But on
probably
NRAs,
had-
they've got things that specifically states that this convention here.
Well, they're probably like, if you want us to bring our convention, you better
Well, I would hope so.
temporarily remove that
That
law.
is the power of the NRA.
I'm still not.
folks.
I'm still not going to push it though, because when we came in the back door, I didn't tell you this, did I? They said you guys have any firearms or anything? We need to check your stuff.
Now that we
You
found
are
legally-
compliant.
We are compliant.
Well,
Just put it that
apparently
way.
now we are, but I'm not going to risk it. So, why are they checking if they're allowing them? That's what I didn't understand.
Is there a gun that you may have had at one point that you want to get back that you sold or anything?
I actually still have all the guns that I've had.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about bucket list gun? Like, what's the next gun that you just, I gotta have that gun, the next gun I buy?
Well, I just met the Nemo Arms guys.
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Clint's a good guy. He told me that there's going to be an opportunity for me to shoot one of their omens.
Oh, nice.
So I'm taking up.
Cool.
I'm taking that offer up.
So
Sure.
a little 300 Win Mag action.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like the long distance shooting.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I like to be able to touch someone's life
You got to check this other booth
From
over
a
here.
distance.
from a distance.
Tracking Point.
Okay,
Right
yeah,
here?
Are they over there?
Track
Yeah,
point. Yep.
right there.
That's just.
We got to shoot it at SHOT Show, and man, that thing was
I could
amazing.
imagine.
I've
We
actually
did a 1,000-yard shot with no effort.
Right.
I shot a 300 Win Mag. He shot a 338 Lapua, and I mean our first shots were bang right on the money. I actually have my shell right here.
Awesome.
Brought it with me.
Very nice. I'll keep my first shells too.
Yeah. Well, we know some guys that can do some cool things with these. Cantu Bruner makes pins.
Yeah, I actually have one of his pens. Yeah. Dax is a real great guy.
Neptune, what is it? 37? Neptune 37. Like I got these dog tags on. I mean, he makes all kinds of stuff out of metal.
I think I follow that guy on Instagram as well. He got the Moderno.
Yeah, so I was going to send it to him and see what he might have some ideas on making something out of it. So.
Great. So you guys check those pages out.
When it comes to Fight Soap, how did you get into that? What brought that about? How did this come?
Well, in general, just to give you guys like a basic
and don't
overview.
say it was from watching Fight Club.
You know what? If I get $1
for every time somebody says
for
that,
every time that thing gets brought up, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be out in Florida just enjoying.
You cash in on that alone.
You wouldn't even need to make soap.
Hell no. Well,
so no parallels.
Yeah, no parallels.
You're not making it with human fat or anything.
I actually do. The asses that I've kicked.
Okay.
There you go. From your Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Into your matches, you're like, can I please have some of your ass fat since I won?
We signed
take
a
pound of your ass
prior.
to put my soap. Personalize it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, just to give you guys a general overview, skin infections, it's a really big thing in martial arts. Even in sports in general, you get ringworm, you get staph. And what a lot of people don't realize, they just say that, oh, look, it's just a skin infection. It's like a pimple. It'll
go away.
It'll go away.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's very contagious. And something like staph, something like MRSA, that can kill you.
People can die from
blood,
staph,
that shit will kill you.
Yeah.
If the level if infection is just right,
yep.
It's very dangerous. So hygiene products, unfortunately, it wasn't a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that I wanted to get into. And the other thing was, at that point when I was training martial arts, I was doing martial arts to fight depression. I was a suicidal guy. And my doctor, my therapist actually told me to get back into training.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, I was broke. I got laid off of my job.
Mm-hmm.
I had no insurance, and I could not afford to get any medicine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like any of the antidepressants, which actually was a blessing in disguise, because that long-term effects of those.
Sure.
I mean, I've met a lot of guys who are still on it, and it's tough to get out of.
Yeah.
So my therapist basically told me, like, okay, let's do this the natural way. It's going to be the longer, harder way, but we can do this. That involved like training, exercise.
Yeah,
and like, gotta stay busy. Like, gotta be focused on something very positive. And that was martial arts for me. That was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So now, on the flip side, I was training so hard to the point that this was like competitive training. I was training for competitions. This was basically like even like training like twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a job, so I had like plenty of time, in between side jobs. And I had to protect myself. That was the thing. I did not want to get sick. If I had staph, I was done.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't have any insurance or anything.
No, nothing. Like it was going to be a really bad position for me if I had that. So, I came across like a few products that was supposed to solve that problem. I tried it. It wasn't cheap. I wasn't happy with it. So that pretty much inspired me to like make a brand, like a line of products for guys like me who actually, had to work. I needed something that worked and get the maximum bang for the buck, where even I could put my life on the line for it. Like I could rely on it. I had to trust it that much.
Yeah.
And it had to make me feel good. No side effects, basically. And that's how Fight Soap got its start. A lot of the products out there, they were very medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
They did not smell good. They dried my skin out, and that pissed me off. Living in a cold
state. So did you do a lot of research on the ingredients that were going into these products?
Yeah, I actually did. And, with resources like a library that was free to me, I made the most out of it.
That's what a lot of people don't realize. You may be broke and out of work, but places like the public library are great places to go where you can get on the internet.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you.
You can even rent like free DVDs on there.
Movies and stuff.
Really good movies. Didn't have to like go to like Netflix now or whatever. And in my past life too, I used to work for a hospital in healthcare, so I had a lot of contacts with doctors too. I was familiar with a lot of the procedures, and at that time too, like when I was planning my whole career change, I went to community college to try to become a nurse. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those courses helped me out.
Yeah. It helped with your knowledge on the
helped
background,
with knowledge, with the development,
the ingredients and stuff.
Yeah, and that's how we started with Fight Soap. We started with one bar. I started the brand. I started the company with $40, and that's all I had. That's literally all I had. I bought stuff off of eBay, because the thing is, like, look, I made less than $250 a week. Mm-hmm. I made really good money. I worked IT for a hospital, and down to basically nothing.
Wow.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That is rough.
See, it was really, really rough. And, literally, I wanted to kill myself.
Wow.
And that's not funny, but, I mean, you're being sincere. And
and
you're to the point of suicide.
Yep. So, I tell people, that's all I started with, $40. I had no investors because when I pitched the idea, I was laughed at. Here's another funny story. Like, I was asking friends, like one of my best friends at that time, a girl. And I told her, hey, do you know how to make soap? And she laughed at me on the phone. She's like, "Why do you want to
you go to
learn how
Walmart
to make soap? Like, are you turning gay?" I'm like, no. Then I pictured the idea, and it was just such a novel idea at that point. So I'm like, what? I'm just gonna do this on my own. So from side jobs to side jobs, that was my capital.
Right.
But honest to God, if I can like round up all those receipts, it's $40. That's what.
That is awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So you guys out there, who are listening, and you read all these stories about, you need like blah 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 venture capital, X amount to like start a business. Mm-hmm. I am living proof, and I will tell you guys right now, the American dream is still there. It needs, it just needs a lot of creativity and hard work, but you
just
guys
need dedication. You got to be dedicated to it. It's not just going to happen.
Yeah.
You've got to actually go out there and work for
and
it.
It is possible, So don't be discouraged by all these, all the things that you read.
All these negative Nancy's, is that what they call them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Naysayers.
Yeah, and
trolls.
Like trolls. Yeah, I wanted to swear.
I'm a.
They're like more profane words.
Trolls.
Trolls. There you go. Trolls. Yeah, so that's how the whole brand started. I started with one bar, and the funny part was, if you guys have seen like the packaging right now, it's all nice and fancy. We got the nice labels, plastic. Mm-hmm. The first packaging was actually Saran wrap.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I upgraded to paper bags, brown paper bags.
So
nice.
did you get an investor?
No.
So you've done
this
all on your
all along.
own.
So I'm just like telling you guys, like, it's possible.
Yeah.
It really is possible. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I had to hustle. I had all sorts of side jobs. I've driven cars for dealerships. I've chauffeured people.
Wow.
Scrimped and saved and put together. And
I've done like
made
even
it
like
happen.
small photography gigs for like clubs. Every
now wait a minute.
dollar.
What kind of clubs you doing? Photography?
Yeah, photography.
You taking your clothes off, Bond? Huh? Doing some of that jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, kind of. No, not really. The
jiu-jitsu
clubs,
dancer.
the lounges, the dance clubs and stuff.
And now you're one of the biggest non-corporate soap producers now. I would say that's
that
very
popular. I guess so. But it's an honor.
When I say non-corporate, not Johnson & Johnson and Dove and not any of those.
Family owned.
Yeah,
family owned.
Johnson & Johnson's still
small
family owned,
business
though, aren't
soap makers. Yeah.
Yeah, and we, we're still growing.
Y'all
like
sponsor MMA fighters and
we actually did at one point, and now since we've grown,
see how much preparation I did.
Yeah, we've
we
grown.
did once.
No. We sponsored a lot. Like
Right.
I've posted a lot of pictures on our Instagram account of like the old athletes that we've sponsored. We've
That's
made it to
probably where I
like
got it.
Strike Force, the old Strike Force.
Right.
So I got to ask,
Series.
and we can edit this out if we need to, but all right, how did you test your product to make sure it wasn't going to eat your skin away? Or
All on my own, even until now.
so
Nothing.
You self-tested it, and
Vaughn actually used to be my size, and his first few batches made him smaller.
Yeah, that's
wore
it.
his skin down.
It works. It works. I just used it all on myself, and that's like another testament to
now,
is
this something that is soap regulated by the FDA?
It isn't. It's the gray area of the FDA. They're just,
and we can edit all this. I'm asking. But if you
no.
want this stuff to go on, then we can continue with this
all
line of
up to
questions.
you guys. It really depends on how you market the soap.
Mm-hmm.
The FDA only dips their fingers into stuff if you start claiming stuff that should be reserved for drugs.
Right.
Like technically, I can't say that the soap is antifungal or even
Right.
antibacterial.
Sure.
Because that makes it a drug. I mean, I've seen so many soap companies out there who do that.
Now, if someone
They get hit. The FDA has actually hit these people.
Wow. Now, if someone gives anecdotal evidence, like a customer of yours,
That's fine.
okay, so I can tell my story.
Of course.
Okay.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We as a company cannot do those claims ourselves.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
what's your pitch? What's your marketing pitch for the Fight Soap? How do people know that it may benefit them for what's that called?
Eczema?
Yeah, eczema.
Yeah, for skin infections, all the ingredients that we use are probably some of the most powerful natural ingredients that have been known to work on skin infections.
Yeah.
These are natural remedies.
Right. Well, and I think you may have touched on it a minute ago, but one of the biggest things about soap that are out there now, anything in your house that says antibacterial soap, throw it out the freaking window unless you're using it for like your sink or something. Don't use it on your skin because your body produces a natural flora of bacteria. And a lot of people don't realize that, and that bacteria needs to stay. If you flora, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Does it smell good?
Bacteria is, if you have a lot of it, it's called a flora. But if you use antibacterial soap, you kill that natural bacteria on your skin, and that's what a lot of times
fight off a lot of disease.
Right,
and
that natural bacteria fights off the stuff,
viruses
fights off
and
the,
stuff.
the
And you have to
different
be
things.
the thing is, like, a lot of soap makers nowadays aren't paying attention to the science, the whole science behind the whole thing. It's not a simple matter of just throwing tea tree oil into soap and there you go, it's going to work. There are certain quantities which are scientifically proven
Right.
that have to be used to make it even effective. Because the danger, like the whole flip side to this whole thing, like I can dump every freaking antibacterial, botanical, or natural ingredient that I can get my hands on. But if they're not the right quantities, they won't work. And it actually could help build resistance in bacteria.
Right. Which is when all these people are walking around constantly with that alcohol stuff.
Yeah, that triclosan stuff.
Oh my
triclosan.
gosh,
Yeah,
that's horrible. I mean,
It-
you're losing your immunity to any of those natural bacteria you touch every day.
If they're just putting it on the hand
Yeah.
and they're not rubbing it
Yeah.
everywhere, it's just
Because
doing the hand.
there's things that you touch every day. Like I'm touching this computer, there's probably stuff I'm getting that my body's got a natural immunity when I touch my beard
and you
or
keep
whatever.
on killing. That's the thing. Like even with soap, just to touch on the whole skin flora, as we would call it in the industry. A lot of the products, even soap, they are going to wipe out everything on the surface of your body because they're not smart systems. Oils, all these natural ingredients, they can't go out on your skin and say, "Oh, you're a good bacteria, you're a bad bacteria."
Right.
Doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't discriminate. It's going to wipe everything out. But the thing is, how fast your body recovers and rebuilds,
Sure.
that's the point that you want to think about. If you keep on putting something like alcohol kills bacteria in a matter of seconds, like even in milliseconds. If you keep on putting that on, you're not giving your body the chance to actually recover. And that's dangerous. That's actually very dangerous. And that's why the FDA is like they're starting to crack down on these on a lot of the products out there in the market.
And I'll give my anecdotal evidence, even though I know you can't claim this stuff, but I had read a few of the posts that you had on Instagram, and then I started seeing posts from other people that had ordered it from you that said that their kids' eczema was clearing up when they started using the Fight Soap, and they got rid of all the Johnsons and Johnsons and all the baby stuff. So I was like, hey, my son's got eczema, so I ordered some from you. And I'll be honest, people, everybody knows that we can be kind of blunt on the show. I got a free bar when we were at what the hell? Thank you.
Shot Show, right?
Shot Show. Thank you.
Las Vegas, baby.
And the stuff smells great, but I got some funky skin for some reason, and half the colognes and soaps out there, once I put them on, it smells like I pissed my pants. So I was worried. The soap smelled great in the box. I
got to stay with this guy when we travel.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, all right, let me try it out. Smelled great on my wife when she used it. So I used it. Sure enough, like halfway through the day, I was like, oh, crap. It was one of those, scents.
You had a bad chemical reaction.
Yeah, my skin has a unique flora, I guess.
Aroma.
But, so I contacted you and I said, hey, are there different flavors? Scents.
There you
Flavors. You do not eat the
flavor
soap.
for the nose.
Please don't eat the soap.
There are people who've actually eaten the soap and they posted pictures on Instagram. I do not recommend that, but
What are they frying it up with their bacon?
they're
and
still
eggs?
alive though. They're still alive because it's all natural.
You're right.
Thank God. So
Butter in their biscuits.
I
with
can't
it?
imagine that being good. But so I ordered some because my son's got eczema, so I wanted to try it out on him. We've tried, the oatmeal lotions, the oatmeal baths, and it would kind of do a little bit, but it would never be like a consistent thing. So we got it in. He didn't want to use it, so I had to make it his magic special soap because he's 3. And he was like, yeah. Now it started going away. His boo-boo's going away. And every time he's ready to take a bath, he has to have his magic soap.
Boo-boo.
the
His
boo-boos.
boo-boos.
Yeah, I remember that.
3-year-old.
Yeah, because
We just lost half our listeners.
because I remember that Zeke actually texted me saying something like, "Hey, I know it's late at night, but basically told me the soap worked."
But on the positive note,
yeah.
we just picked up
Amazing.
a whole new listener base of females.
And 3-year-olds.
The big guy said boo-boo.
All about the boo-boos now.
All the 3-year-olds are going to be like, Mommy, listen to Talking Lead.
They say boo-boo.
They say boo-boo.
That Squatch guy, he's so funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, our customers are, they're all the proof that we need. Because first of all, we've always had faith in all the ingredients that we put in.
Right.
A lot of these are like the forgotten ingredients that have been used for ages.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to medicine, prior to antibiotics.
Sure.
We're bringing those back, and that takes a lot of research. Like I have books from probably from like reprints from like the 1800s, like really old recipe books, like Ye Olde Apothecary, whatever. Yeah. And
Those have a lot of natural ingredients in it.
It's tough because they changed the names of the botanicals, so you have to like do your research and figure out what are they called now.
Right.
And these things work, and it's very fulfilling for me. It's very it's very fulfilling that we're actually bringing back the faith in all natural remedies.
Sure. Yeah.
It's something as simple as soap.
I have a question for you on being a customer of yours now. How do I make it last longer? Because
Yes, it's an age-old question.
With my kid, I didn't really know yet. I've asked some people since.
Bond, he just asked, how can you make it last long?
I was a little slow on the uptake on
There
that.
are pills for that. Sir. There are pills.
There's
it's a little
techniques
blue
that you
pill.
can use.
No, but
Rhythmic.
so I took it out of the box and used it on my kid. Rhythmic. Wow.
So, ladies, yeah.
But I took it out of the box, used it in his bathtub. Well, and he wanted to use it too, so I let him. And it just if you don't take it out and just leave it in the water, it's going to be gone quick.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like I've got
very water soluble.
Yeah, very water. That's the thing. We don't use any of the chemical hardeners.
Right.
That are in a lot of the products right now.
Why not make it a liquid soap then?
You just launched one,
we
right?
do, but personally,
okay.
I find liquid soap to be very wasteful. Like how many times have you had like your shower gel like splatter all over? Like you put it in your palm, put it on your body, then half of it just like splashes away.
Right.
Not a lot.
Oh, okay. You're very efficient like that.
I have. Well, no, they got those little squeeze bottles.
The poofy things.
The little squeeze bottles.
The little loofah poofs?
The poofs?
Well, see, that's what somebody had
No,
told
little
me.
squeeze bottles.
Oh, okay.
You squirt it out.
Well, somebody had told me to keep it in the plastic box, and just take a loofah and kind of get it on.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
could
what
do
I've
that.
been doing.
Now, here's the thing too. What we use, the soap is basically called a glycerin soap. It's high glycerin. Glycerin is what you find in a lot of the lotions. And here's like an industry secret. When you make soap, glycerin is it's a natural byproduct. It's a product of the process itself. A lot of these big companies, they take away that glycerin from the soap. They extract it and use it on lotions because they make more money selling that. We don't do that. Whatever glycerin is in the soap, it's there.
Right.
That is your good
extrude any of that out.
Old school soap.
Sure.
So it moisturizes also.
That's the thing. Glycerin, it absorbs a lot of moisture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you put it, in someplace wet, it absorbs it.
I wonder if your soap would be good as a gun lube.
We've seen people actually wash their Glocks
with fight soap.
With fight soap. They take it with them in the shower, unload it, of course.
Yeah.
And that shocked me. But hey, if it works for them, they know what they're doing.
Garrett, high capacity TV.
Yes, Mr. Garrett.
There you go. So the challenge has been posted for somebody to test the fight soap as a gun lube.
If not, I will take that as a personal challenge and see what I can pull off.
We may be the ones.
We could do
who
that.
knows? Who knows?
We may do that.
Why don't you guys comment and let us know what you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Send us a message. Tell us what you want to see.
If you want us to test out a Glock that Bond's going to give us with his fight soap.
No, paging Chris Davis of Glock.
He's like, we need to get
Chris
involved
with it.
But I don't know about the Glock.
Yeah, that's the thing. And going back to the question where about just making it last. That's the thing. Like, first of all, it really doesn't last that much. A lot of the soap material actually goes on your body.
Right.
That's why it runs out quicker. And the other thing, tell your wife not to use it without asking permission.
Okay.
That's a big
Tell her to get her
thing.
own bar, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Tell your wives, your girlfriends,
need to order
even your
more
kids.
soap.
I can't decide which one's my favorite, though, because you sent Matt Mojito. Is that
the Matt Mojito? We have the
Bloody Murder.
Bloody Murder,
and then there was another one.
What if you don't have any skin problems? Can you use your product?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
If you guys just want to smell good, The thing is, even the scents themselves, there's a lot of science involved. There's like a lot of principles in aromatherapy that were put into it. That's why when people say, "Oh my God, it smells amazing," "Oh my God, I feel refreshed." I mean, if you guys check out our Instagram and see all the comments that people have posted, that, sir and madams, is no accident, because we blend everything to for a meth, there's a purpose. All these scents will make you feel good. It triggers good thoughts. It triggers.
Unless you got jacked up skin chemistry like me, then one of them may make you smell like you pissed your pants.
Yeah, that's why we offer more.
So all our listeners they want to know where they can get this now. How do they get in touch with you? How do they find fight soap?
Right now we have a handful of dealers, but they're having trouble keeping it in stock. So your best bet at this point would be getfightsoap.com. Remember, it's getfightsoap.com. There's this one guy who just stole the fightsoap.com name. That is not it. Okay. You are going to get ripped off, I'm telling you right now.
It's not the same stuff. Not the real deal.
Not the real deal.
So GETFIGHTSOAP?
Look for the shark teeth.
If
the products don't have the shark teeth, that is not the fight soap that everybody's been talking about.
Yeah,
it's they can find you on Instagram also?
Yep. Yes, we are on Instagram.
I just posted a pic of you doing the interview now.
Awesome, thank you, sir. We are at Fight Soap. If you are into that whole hashtag game, just check out the Fight Soap hashtag, and you'll see a bunch of pictures, and eventually it'll lead you to us.
And definitely check our post out, and there's links to them there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have them.
Is there anything else that you want to make sure you covered? And
you know what? Since we are at the NRA show, let's talk about our involvement with the tactical community.
Okay.
We started getting into firearms, because a lot of the martial arts guys, they are into law enforcement.
Now this is the part where all of our fans are going, okay, this is why he's on the show.
This is why. This is how guns tie in.
Why are we talking about soap?
Okay, let's talk guns. Two ways.
Trust us. You trusted us on NASCAR. Trust us on the soap.
And country music. They trusted us on that. And,
you were skeptical, but hey, we delivered.
Hey, look,
here's the tie.
I flew out here from Connecticut at 6 a.m. this morning.
Wow.
Just to be at the NRA show, and I'm flying out the next day because I have another event to go to. So, guys, right now we are developing a lot of products. I have one project actually that I will give you just a little sneak peek, because we are working.
Unveiling here at Talking Lead exclusive. Here we go.
Because we are working with active special forces guys. It's something that I cannot openly talk about.
Sure.
Just to protect the nature.
It is a gun lube. I knew it.
Well, you will be surprised.
Yeah.
Of what we're coming out with. we're working with a few branches of the elite forces, so watch out for that. Hopefully we can make a few units available to the public. But yeah, we are out there to serve the troops. Yes, sir. You guys will get a few samples.
Nice. What everybody didn't see is Left Hand started pandering. Hey, over here. Can we those public people?
And we are
claim
also, as a brand, we are very pro two-way. So we also come out with gun-related tactical products. Like we came out with a soap bar that was inspired by brass and bacon.
Nice. Brass and bacon.
And we called it the Infidel.
Brass and bacon.
It was a limited edition. If you guys who've been with us for a while and you guys are listening, you guys will remember that bar. That bar sold out. And
is that ever coming back?
Well, we'll see what we can do.
That's another thing. It's something unique that I've never seen. People go crazy for these limited editions.
Brass
soap,
and it had brass and bacon in it, or
it was a scent.
I think.
Okay.
It smelled like brass and bacon.
Gotcha.
It was totally. We made it work.
So it was a fragrance.
I think like
five soap.
I think like 5 people jumped off a building when they found out I actually used the limited edition bar from the SHOT Show thing because they collect them
instead of putting it in your freezer.
Yeah,
how do you long-term store your soap?
Just put them in the container, and then at this point, just keep them away from direct sunlight because
keep away from heat.
Yeah, heat because anything above like 100 degrees.
Yeah, so
start
70,
70
75.
room temperature's fine. Just keep it away from direct sunlight because we're dealing with natural ingredients here, and
You got me curious, man. I want to know what you're doing with the military community on this.
Yeah,
like he just said. He can't.
I know.
Well, let's say
we're gonna
one is actually
it's
for hygiene. Actually,
nice.
One's a hygiene product, and one is more of a remedy.
Okay.
I've been working with people who are active. No names, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't your Instagram operators who are like, "Oh, I'm operator."
Yeah.
These are the
There's
real
people like that out there.
These are the real deal guys who will not, who you wouldn't even know what they did for a living.
Right.
So you guys on Instagram, take some notes. If you want to be like real operator, just shut the hell up.
And get some fight soap.
Yeah, get some fight soap.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
But I mean that makes sense because you've got people that are in heavy, long sleeves, thick clothing.
Exactly.
In some harsh environments.
Harsh environments. Yep. They're hot. They're sweaty. They're
and even
nasty,
guys who are like deployed, hygiene turns out to be a very big thing.
Yeah. Law enforcement.
Yeah.
I mean,
even law enforcement.
Clothes,
I've had like a few law enforcement guys who've been telling me like, "Hey, I use your sanitizer like after I just like dealt with a perp."
Wow.
Because I've got like his bodily fluids all over me after I just like cuffed him.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of practical uses. So guys, hygiene. Just think about it. It's important. It's
Love it,
really important.
live it, practice it.
Yes, sir.
Nobody likes a stinky ass.
Yep. And we are very pro two-way. We help the vets. We are a big supporter of our troops. We are involved with the Warriors.
Wounded Warriors?
No, not Wounded Warriors.
Sal?
Wishes for Warriors?
Yeah, Wishes for Warriors. They're this new organization. Very good guys. Supporters of Fight Soap. Some of the guys out here too, like Ares Armor, when they had issues, like we are helping them out to try to raise funds. I mean, we are very pro two-way. And for just the whole tactical community. I mean, you guys get dirty.
Yeah.
We get lead on our hands after hitting the range. So we're here for you. Our products are specially formulated. I think like you guys.
Right.
So I know what we all need.
Yeah.
And from this is very sincere. I will not sell you something that will not work, and it's just something that I put my logo on it. Everything will have a purpose.
It is a logo.
Yeah, because how if you guys don't know the gun industry, it's all about your reputation.
Yeah. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, their logo, you've seen like the A-10 Warthog jets, and they have like the little
posers and the pretenders and the fakes
logo
get weeded out quick in this industry.
Exactly. And we just want to represent a good old American business.
And you've done a lot of collaborations and like your limited editions with a lot of the gun community, like different big whether it's
even clothing communities.
Right.
Now we'll be maybe a Talking Lead collaboration.
It'll smell like Zeke's ass.
And down goes your rate. Guys, come on, think about it. Why am I here at the NRA show? right? I have a lot of like really good friends. I made a lot of good friends out here in the industry who've supported us. Like it blows me away. Like the support that we've gotten. Like it's just for a soap company, like a gun company going down and reaching out to a soap company. Just think about it. So it's amazing. So yeah, just think about that.
So you can mark us down as the first show in history to tie in soap and guns.
Yes, sir.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We've made history here today, gentlemen.
Well, Bon, we thank you for coming on, man.
Awesome.
We've been wanting
Thank
to
you
get you
very
on
much.
for what, months now? We've been
I
talking
know,
about it.
I
Since
know.
SHOT Show.
I know.
Since we left before your party.
Yes, and I really I appreciate
We know better.
it. And I
We know better
apologize
next
for
time.
all the delays.
Yeah, no problem, man. But we'll definitely have you on again.
Awesome.
And
No, I
we'll keep using your soap, man. It's good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's always an honor.
Except for the ones that make me smell like I pissed my pants.
Maybe if he made one that smelled like piss and he used it.
It might work, right? Reverse.
But you know what? Here's the crazy thing. If you watch the Instagram people that follow him and like collect the limited editions, he could probably come out with one just said Fight Soap Piss, and people would go crazy if he said it was a limited edition.
Guys, I will. This is like a Talking Lead exclusive.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
In the works, we are making a bomb.
A bum?
A bomb, like a
Bomb.
Balm. B-A-L-M.
Balm. Okay,
B-A-L-M.
gotcha.
Gentlemen.
Gotcha. Nice.
And we're going to call it the butt hurt bomb.
The butt hurt bomb. Yes.
Yes,
That's awesome.
because our studies have shown that a lot of the Fight Soap users, who are very kick-ass, by the way, they have a lot of haters.
Yes.
So we are going to make something to remedy that.
Yes.
There you go.
So you heard
Very
it
cool.
here first. And it's going to be a real good bomb too. So don't worry about it.
Nice. All right, Bon. Well, thank you for coming on, man. We'll
Guys,
have you on
thank
a
you
lot
very
more
much for
time.
having
Appreciate
me.
you making the trip just for us, man.
Of course. Just for talking.
We know you
lead.
care just for us.
Exactly.
Had to. Just. All right, this is Bond from Fight Soap, and you're listening to Talking Lead.
All right, so we are back, and we've got another guest with us, and some of y'all might call bullshit on this because you may hear my dogs in the background, or it just doesn't sound like the floor of a convention anymore. But we've got the unnamed trucker, which, are you going by your name yet on your show?
Yeah, since episode 14.
Okay.
But that's fine. It's kind of I don't know what the word is. It's kind of stands for, there's a lot of drivers out here, and obviously there's a certain portion of them that are armed, and they may or may not want folks to know it because of their company policy or whatever. But yeah, my name's Chaz Murray. I do a little podcast called the Road Gunner Podcast, and it's about driving trucks and carrying guns in the trucks and doing that legally and helping folks out. Sometimes I talk about cooking in the truck and eating healthy and that kind of stuff. So that's what we do here.
Sweet. And we were actually part of a little group of other podcasters together for about, a month?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I remember you guys when you first came on and said, hey, what's up? And I was trying to send out a little bit of podcast love to you guys and hopefully get some listeners. And now y'all blowed up.
We blowed it up,
Yeah. Guys are
accidentally.
huge.
I don't know what the hell happened. It's interesting. From last year's NRA to this year's has been just night and day. And I don't want to come across as arrogant because it's actually still weird to us. This is still
it's totally
weird.
cool because you got to, you know what it is? You guys have a good rapport with each other, and you have a really relaxed, casual show, which I thoroughly enjoy, and I'm not just kissing your ass because I'm insanely jealous of your success, and I hate you both. So,
hey, I like your show though. It's a different flow than any of the other ones. That's one thing I like about it.
You know what it's hard to do? It's hard to do a solo podcast and sustain it for a long time. Folks like Bob Main have done it, but the guy that I originally was my inspiration, Eric Shelton from the Handgun Podcast, he did it for 3 years and then he kind of quit. But it's hard to sustain that. If you got somebody to bounce ideas off of, and you get along, and it just sounds natural when you guys are talking, and it's cool. And that's kind of the way my show is. It's not uber tactical,
right?
But we do have guests on that know what they're talking about, and I've used the podcast as a vehicle to kind of talk about the training that I do, and promote classes and things like that I'm holding. And And now I've got a co-host. Travis from the Gun Dudes has joined as an official co-host, and hopefully I'll let him do some heavy lifting.
Now, is he the one with the kick-ass In a World movie voice guy?
No, that's Stan.
Okay,
that's Stan from the Gun Dudes, and he's a good guy. And unlike you, who are you guys are famous. I just know famous people, and so it's really been quite awesome to see you guys succeed. And I would like to just basically ride on your coattails.
Sure,
and
jump on.
And
I don't even know we have coattails to ride, but hey, it's still it's still so weird.
You got a vehicle with the vinyl wrap on it and all that stuff.
We did have that, yeah. And we're on a NASCAR truck.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. We were on a NASCAR car for practice at Daytona, but he didn't qualify. So, but we were there.
I wasn't. So I don't have a thing. That'd be cool though. The big rig and wrap it. Uh-huh.
The weirdest thing is when people do stop us, we still have that feeling of, oh, who's here? And we'll look around going, who are they talking to? We want to see them. And it's that surreal, why the hell do you want a picture with me? It's weird. Not that we don't want to take them. It's just like, why us? We just sit around and bullshit on the radio.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's a good show. So now that I'm kind of done kissing your ass, you can start interviewing me now.
Oh, okay. I can actually do that now?
Yeah. Well, we kind of interview each other or whatever. Yeah. Now that I've done that. You were saying that when people stop you, it's because they want an autograph or whatever. When people stop me, it's generally they want to give me a ticket and or inspect the vehicle. And I don't get that. I don't put my face out on the internet too much, except on Facebook and things like that. But
well, I'm going to ask you the questions we ask.
Kind of like,
huh?
I'm just saying I'm probably overloading the truck stop Wi-Fi that they installed in 1998.
What I'll do is I'll ask a question and I'll pause for 4 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
So how did you originally get into firearms?
Okay, well, I come from a family that my dad is... I didn't realize he was anti-gun until I started asking about guns and things like that, because I had a friend who lived down the street who was big into hunting, and he had a 30-30 lever-action Winchester and some .22, some things. And I asked my dad if could get a gun, and he was like, no, we don't do that. We'll go out in the woods and take pictures of animals. So I was like, that sucks. I don't want to do that. I don't want to shoot stuff. So he eventually broke down and got me a BB gun, like a Crosman, a single-shot air pistol with a CO2 chamber and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. And that kind of stayed at the BB gun level for a long, long time until I've always had an interest in guns and gun magazines and things like that, but I didn't actually get my first gun until 2009, and that was kind of inspired by having a crazy ex-wife. Yeah, I started with a crazy ex-wife who decided to invite another gentleman to come live in her home while I was away.
Oh,
and he was apparently a drug dealer and went about armed, and he wasn't very nice to my ex-wife, and so I decided to confront him wearing no pants, but a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. But I didn't have any. I was unarmed, and I felt very uncomfortable, and I thought it was, not a real good situation. It just
wait. You had no pants on?
Yeah, I had no pants on.
Oh.
But whatever. It was more intimidating that way for the guy, What was I going to do? I had nothing but my boldness about me. So I thought, I'm not going to walk into a situation like this again, into my own house and let somebody, basically take over. I didn't care about the stuff for the ex-wife or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was glad to get out of there. But I decided I would, at that point, I would go ahead and take it upon myself to become armed, and that led to wanting to be a responsible person with that. So I got my Arkansas concealed carry permit, and then I realized that was just the tip of the iceberg as far as getting any kind of training, because it really wasn't training. It was just a class that told you what the laws were.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went online and
Oh, but were you like us, and after you had that training, you thought you could take over the world?
Yeah,
like, I know everything about guns.
Yeah, I'm in the club.
Yeah.
So, I did the normal thing, and I did get more guns, and instead of going to a class, but I eventually did find out about Massad Ayoob online and ordered his book on Amazon. And as I would Google his name, because I was like, who's this crazy Arab dude? He's like, I'm like, oh, he sounds like a terrorist or something, So I wanted to do a little bit more background check on the guy because, I didn't want to find out that he was like leading a jihad against America or something like that. No offense. So I read his book, In the Graves Extreme, and that led to doing more research and finding out that, oh, wow, he teaches classes, and I, too, can go to one of these classes.
Yep.
So I signed up for a MAG 40 and went to my first one in October of 2010.
Which you've got something coming up that we're going to talk about here in a little while.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I started going to more of those classes and hanging out more, and I just became like this. I said, hey, maybe I can be an instructor, and maybe I could do a podcast too about trying to find a niche about what I can talk about. Well, why don't I talk about carrying guns in the truck?
There you go.
So that led to the podcast, and it's just been an uncontrollable train wreck of a life from this point. It's like a truck going downhill with no brakes.
But
I cannot be stopped.
It makes it more fun that way.
Absolutely,
it's much more fun that way. Now,
if your wheels aren't on fire when you go downhill, this is boring.
I've seen many of those coming down the other side of Monteagle Mountain going towards Chattanooga.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I've been behind trucks where their brake drums actually exploded, and parts of it red hot brake drum parts came flying out of the side, and I actually ran over a chunk of hot brake drum one time. That was fun.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to pop culture that's firearms related, whether it's a movie, TV, you listen to the show.
Yeah, I'm going to get the question. Yeah.
What is your go-to? What's your favorite?
Okay, I like James Bond.
Good. Oh man, that stinks that Left Hand's not here because y'all would just be best friends now.
One of my favorite movies of all time, even though it was Roger Moore, he was not the best James Bond, was Moonraker, because that's the one that I remember seeing as a kid. It had space shuttles.
Mm-hmm.
It had a guy with metal
Jaws.
teeth.
It had Jaws.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I loved that thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember. God, what was the guy, the villain in Moonraker? I can see his face now. He had dark hair and a beard and a Russian accent. Whatever. And he wanted to take over the world from space.
Now, there's one thing before we go on as I choke myself on a Twizzler. Hang on just a second before my dog whimpers out the podcast. I could get him water.
Yeah, don't choke on a Twizzler.
Yeah, one second.
Goodness sakes. That's totally not manly. You die by choking on a Twizzler.
All right, my dogs have been watered.
All right.
But before we kind of move, gosh, I'm out of shape. I just got up and ran to do water, and now I'm sucking wind.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time in that Tough Mudder.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Now, there's a little something I was going to ask you about that I caught wind of on Facebook. Little Brian Bolivar, Chaz, back and forth. What's going on with that?
Oh, these foreigners, they think they can just come into my country and talk about guns. They don't know nothing about guns up in Canada. They don't have guns. It's an illusion. And so Brian took a few pot shots at me on Facebook, and I put him in his place.
Oh, okay.
Let's just put it that way.
What exactly do you say?
Oh, I just mocked him for having a podcast that no longer exists about a sport that's so boring that he could only do 49 episodes about it before quitting.
You talking about the
it was Canadian
Service Conditions Radio, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which no longer exists. Couldn't even make it to 50. And so
not even a full year.
I put that to rest. Plus I can always pull out the how many 300s have you shot at a Massad Ayoob group event?
Now,
how many $5 bills do you have from Masada Youth? But you just pull that out, and then boom, argument over, done.
Mass gives out money?
If you can beat him at a Masada Youth group event at the end of the class at the qualifier, if you can beat his score, he will give you a signed $5 bill.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
Brian has not gotten one of those.
No, he has not. Plus, he's too chicken to actually come on down to America and take a class. Plus, why would they need to? They can't carry guns to Canada anyway. So,
Brian, are you there?
Yes, and I'm already tired of listening to that fat sack of you-know-what.
I was prepared for the possibility that you might come on.
And it was perfect that we had to switch. It was perfect that we had to switch you to Cell because you didn't get to see him pop onto the Skype call.
Don't you have work to do?
How you doing, Chaz?
Don't you have like a broom closet to organize or something, Bolivar?
Well, you know what?
Shouldn't you be mopping a toilet?
There's so many things I should be doing, but the chance to ruin your day is just too good to pass up.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. How are you going to explain yourself, Oliver?
What do you mean explain myself? What do I have to explain myself for?
Explain why you're a quitter. You jump into snow just because somebody taunted you.
Look, doing something on a dare that's
tasty body
stupid.
and sweet nipples.
Doing something on a dare, doing something stupid on a dare is just something guys do. Real men do that stuff. I'm sorry
Apparently
that you're too
in Canada,
much of a girl to do that.
I am so manly that I these taunts fall off me. I have no emotions, by the way. I have no feelings. I cannot be destroyed, and I'm better than you.
Isn't that kind of called sociopath?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Which helps. Which helps in a combat situation.
Yes.
So that's what I read in On Combat by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman.
There you go.
Sociopaths have a great time in combat.
You know, Chaz, you say you have no feelings, but why does John Holloway make you cry every time that you talk to him?
Quit.
I cry on command because I'm a good actor to make John feel better, because that's what I do. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. I cry, he feels better, and I get to ride on his coattails.
Now, John Holloway, I've heard that name on your show before, Chaz.
Yes, he's the owner of Nighthawk Custom Training Academy.
That's right.
And ostensibly, he would be my boss, considering he owns the place, and I'm on the staff of Nighthawk Custom Training Academy. Brian, how many training academies are you an instructor with?
Slightly less than 0.
Yeah, I don't actually talk about it a lot on the show. Like I sincerely don't brag about being a Masada Youth Group staff instructor or being, on the staff of Nighthawk Custom Training Academy, because I have learned from my master, John Holloway, that it is, big dogs don't bark that much. A little bit.
You can bark on our show.
Yeah.
No, it would seem gratuitous and name dropping of you to do that, Chaz, and we do respect you more than that.
Okay. I grow bored of Brian. Why is he on the show again? Just to irritate me?
He paid me a huge
you're bored
check.
Of me? I've been editing our interview with you for like 3 days. It took that long to clean it all up.
You just have poor editing skills, is all.
Well, there's that too, but there was I had to anyway. Kowalski left me in the lurch.
Are you taking the tape and cutting and splicing? Is that how you're editing it, or do you actually have a computer device?
That's how I yeah.
Well, it's Canada, so they do have the old, magnetic tape that they have to.
He's got a reel-to-reel.
He's got the little X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
I got an 8-track last week.
8-tracks rocked.
I love the Bee Gees. Oh man, we had Saturday Night Fever on 8-track, and my parents' '77 Pontiac station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was awesome. That became my car eventually. That was my first car, '77 Pontiac Le Mans station wagon. Yeah, and that would fit a lot of guns, I imagine.
Yeah, it would fit quite a few. What was your first car, Brian?
I guess.
Who cares what his first car was? Ask me what my first gun was.
Was it
shut
Peugeot
up,
or
he asked me a
Yugo?
question.
Or...
Technically, it was a '78 Dodge pickup.
In Canada?
Yeah, we have pickup trucks in Canada.
I've got TN Outdoors 9 calling on the other line. What the hell?
Wow.
That's crazy. If I had another one.
Well, if you're going to have somebody cool like 10 Outdoors 9 on, you better cut me loose because
I can't cut him in. He's just gonna have to cuss me out later because I only have one wire right now because I lazy manned the studio together in the dining room instead of walking upstairs to the studio.
Yeah, you've actually got wires and stuff. I've got a handheld MP3 recorder that I do my show on.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it shows, Chad. It really does.
But see, what y'all two don't... Go ahead.
Overcome equipment.
Well,
some shows just die from being lack of entertainment value, lack of stick-to-itiveness by the host, that kind of stuff.
Are you talking about that Shelton guy, Eric Shelton? I never really listened to his show, but
now, who is that?
I heard he used to have a good show.
Who's Eric Shelton?
Eric Shelton was the host of the Handgun podcast on the now-defunct Gun Rights Radio Network. It was a pretty popular show.
Gun Rights Radio is no longer existence?
No longer exists.
Really?
There's now a Gun Rights Network,
mm-hmm.
and there's another radio network. This is Talking Lead, right? I thought it was going to be on Student of the Gun. This isn't Paul Markle, is it?
No, he's not here.
Okay.
I can get him on the phone.
All right.
I know I can get Jared on. Paul might take a little longer.
Yeah, let's. That would take away the focus from the star of the show.
That's true. So
speaking of the star of the show, where's Left Hand?
He is doing his real job.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine.
Yeah.
I find his hair to be very chillactical.
It is chillactical?
It's chill and it's tactical.
Ooh, I like that. Well, what's mine? Since mine's like all curly and crap.
I would say that is Ballistic Bouffant.
Ballistic Bouffant. Crap, thanks. I'm going to have to make a T-shirt of that now.
All right, I want residuals. That's what I do. I name stuff.
Name stuff.
I name other people's podcasts and ruin other people's podcasts. It's kind of my specialty. And so I do appreciate you allowing me to come on and ruin your podcast.
You're fitting right in, so you're actually just increasing ours. And you know what? Now that I'm watching your little logo on Skype, I never noticed it until now, it being bigger. The revolvers as your exhaust pipes.
As the stacks?
That's nice.
That's a good logo that was done by Ryan Cross.
Yeah, he did ours too.
Design.
Yeah, he did our logo. Yep.
He's awesome.
Good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, since you're arch nemesis and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and finish the interview with Chaz and kick you off.
You can do
Be gone, peasant. You subject of the Queen. I'm a free citizen. Get out.
I
don't need no stinking Queen.
I can't really argue with you. I guess. Well, I'm not really a big fan of the Queen either. She seems like a nice enough lady, but
I'll
her
splice
kids are
in
disasters.
I'll splice in your normal outro with Blame Canada as you hang up and all.
Yeah, Brian. Guys, there's probably a little dust mote in the corner. You're going to need to mop that again, and make sure that you wring out the mop really well. Okay. And if you're a good boy, you can filter that water and you can make some coffee with it later.
I love you, Chaz. I came on here for reasons that are unbeknownst to me at this time, and I regret every second of it.
He paid me.
Suck it, peasant.
Hey,
figure
out a way to get into Tennessee, man. We've been trying to get that done for a year.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. I got too many wants and not enough money. That's my problem.
We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna make it happen, and maybe I'll go to the unnamed state and just sit in front of some guys.
just sit in front of somebody's house.
It would actually, Chad, to do that with you.
Yeah,
just sit out.
I'll be there with an open breech, as in a double-barrel shotgun, and I'll just.
Are you gonna give me a Biden? Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be so stylish of you.
Yeah, 2 loads of birdshot to the testicles ought to do it.
See you, Brian.
That would probably sting.
We'll save humanity.
Slightly.
No more reproduction from Bolivar.
Wow, sorry, it's too late. I already have kids.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that from happening again.
Yeah, no, it's already we're good.
If you keep on jumping into the snow half naked, you might take care of that yourself.
Freeze them off.
Like I said, it's doing something stupid is something guys do.
Yes.
So that's it.
And that's a good sign off. Now get off the show.
You said that already.
See you,
Good
Brian.
night, gentlemen.
See you, man.
Enjoy yourselves.
See ya.
You too.
Well, thanks, Zeke. I appreciate you springing that on me. It was a good exercise.
Sure. I thought you'd enjoy that.
Good. I thought you might pull something like that, but, I'm quick on my toes.
I made the mistake of saying something about it in one of the Facebook posts, and he was like, ooh, let me get on there, and we'll go back and forth. That's like, all right, that's always fun.
Yeah, if you're going to be a podcaster, you have to have good interview skills. You have to be adaptable. Be ready for anything.
And not give a shit.
That's what my show is about. When I do my show, I've got almost zero notes in front of me. So often you can tell. It definitely falls completely off of track. Sometimes what I thought I was going to talk about completely morphs into something else. And then occasionally I do write a few notes on my iPhone to keep myself in track. And then I forget that I'm supposed to thank sponsors and things like that and make announcements. So that was good. That was good to have Brian on.
Oh yeah.
And really, he's a dick, so. And I hate him.
You know what's funny? You were kissing my ass earlier. It's funny because there are a handful of podcasts that were on my regular rotation before we started this, and there was Mosen. Shh.
Woo!
There was the Joe Rogan Experience, which has nothing to do with guns, even though he's pro-gun now.
No, but good. Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites. And then there was also Handgun World. That's Maine, right?
Yeah, Bob Maine.
Yeah, you were on there. So you kind of had an influence on you were kind of on the influence of Talking Lead. Then a couple other podcasts too that I really enjoyed, but that kind of led to the formation of the chaos that is Talking Lead now. So I'm kissing your ass now.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It's good. It's good to know that it does have, and I get emails occasionally saying that it's had some positive influence, and that's completely unintentional. I do the show because it's fun to do, and I wanted to have a podcast when one of my idols that we mentioned before decided not to do it anymore, and it's been fun. It gives you credibility that you really don't deserve.
Right, exactly.
If you go to the SHOT Show and you're like, oh, I have a podcast, and you're like, how many? They don't ask you how many people listen or anything like that. You just suddenly you can talk to Ian Harrison and people like that in the industry, and Julie Golub and Jerry Miculek, and it's pretty cool.
It is. It's fun. You're getting to meet a lot of cool people with this.
And you can get people to send you stuff.
That's cool too. I just wish the stuff would start slowly turning into checks.
Well, you guys got enough of an audience that I imagine that someday you can turn that into a check.
We're slowly getting some. Yeah, we're getting there.
I get free holsters.
We get those.
Yeah.
Do you have a holster box yet?
I do have a holster box, but all of
mother. Can you hear me? So
yeah, I've got a box of holsters for sure, but they're all things that I actually use.
Did you hear the explosion that happened right after, right before?
No, did your dog fall on your computer, or what happened?
Yeah, so I have a Great Dane, and he decided it would be funny to run straight through the wires that I have connected from the wall to the computer. So all of a sudden you heard, and
I did. No,
he caught the wires and my
disconnect.
Yeah, my computer and everything went flying. I'm lucky that this is still working because my USB headphone adapter for the computer is all bent all to hell now. So.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Great Danes.
Yes.
Gotta love them.
Love them to death.
I've pulled a few Great Dane trailers in my lifetime.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a holster box.
I do have a holster box. It's full of the stuff that I don't use. I gave away to listeners and things like that, and then I've got a bunch of holsters from my sponsor, Concealment Solutions, and then the leather stuff I have is from Galco.
Oh, cool. We've gotten we got a lot of the Kydex. You know how everybody and their brother's making Kydex now, but we found a lot of little niche guys locally or either through YouTube or something that are making some really cool stuff that have been giving us stuff lately. So I almost have a holster for every day of the week.
Wow, that'd be cool. Are you still carrying the Glock 30?
Yes, yeah, I'm still carrying that in the Savoy leather Ron Burgundy holster.
Nice.
And then
classy.
Yeah, heck yeah. And then I'm waiting to get another Ronin holster because that's been my favorite Kydex hybrid one so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So are you going to ask no more questions? Or
yes.
Or...
Yes. I've
okay,
still
cool.
got. Wait,
yeah.
hang on. I've got $9.38 left on this call. So
sweet. We're gonna piece this interview together. Whether we have to tape it together, duct tape and baling wire.
The Canadian. We'll just call Brian and say, hey, can you splice this together for us,
please?
So next question is, is there a gun now, or has there ever been a gun in your arsenal that there's a little bitty part of you that's kind of embarrassed to say you owned it?
No, I've always been a man of class and taste, and so I've not had one that I was ashamed of.
No high points, no nothing.
I've not owned a high point. I don't have any. If somebody had a high point, I don't have any problem with them owning a high point. I am pretty much I mean, if they work, like the lady in Detroit that successfully used a high point carbine to defend her home, it went bang when she pulled the trigger, and they ran away.
I mean, the only thing I have to say against them is they're like cinder blocks. But other than that,
they're huge. You wouldn't want to necessarily carry one.
No, but for $150, that's an awesome night table gun that you can leave there and not worry about anything. All right, Mosin, don't come running this way again, please.
You have a little saddle for him?
I need one.
I get to let left hand ride him around.
I just came up with a great new YouTube. You just came up with a great new YouTube video idea.
That'd be awesome.
His Great Dane, he's got one too. It's enormous. It's probably the biggest Great Dane I've ever seen.
What's left hand's Great Dane name?
Oshi.
Oshi, okay.
I don't know what it means, but Oshi. I think he said it's some like medieval ghost or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
But he's deaf, so it's kind of interesting to interact with him.
Stop shooting next to his ear then.
Oh, yeah, he didn't care. He'd never know. What about any gun that you've had that you wish you had back?
Oh, I wish I had the first one I ever owned back. My first pistol was a Springfield XD 45 compact, which was pretty sweet.
What'd you get rid of that for?
I traded it in on something else that I traded in on something else that I traded in on something else. So, the guns that I don't have anymore. I wish I had that first one back. That was that had 10-round magazine, the flush fit, and then 13 rounds with the sleeve on it.
Sure.
It was pretty nice.
I hadn't shot that one.
It's just a smidge bigger than the Glock 30.
Okay.
Like it longer in the barrel length, but has the same standard capacity, 10 rounds, and then it makes it into a kind of a full-size grip with the 13-round magazine.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good truck gun.
Are you allowed to carry in trucks? I didn't know if you could or not.
It is completely legal to carry a firearm in a commercial vehicle.
Oh, cool.
The rules are the same for driving in a car, and that's kind of what I explained in the show, is that it's completely legal. Now, of course, it may be prohibited by certain places that you might deliver, like a military base or secure area of an airport, a prison facility, things like that. But the rules are the same. So you have to become a kind of a mini expert in the state laws,
right? Because
your permit is not good in every state because we don't have 50-state reciprocity. So part of my mission is to dispel the myth that it's illegal. And there's plenty of truck stop lawyers out there that keep on spreading the rumors that it is illegal because the companies don't want you carrying a gun. They would rather that you die than for them to be involved in a lawsuit where they would potentially have to reimburse
whoever shot
a family, through liability or whatever. And so they 100% would rather have you dead because one dead trucker is a lot cheaper than paying off a several $million-dollar lawsuit, perhaps. But I value myself a lot, as you may have been able to tell from the interview. So, yeah.
Especially during the Brian part.
Right. And if you're a company driver, you have to make that decision whether you want to follow your company's policy or if you'd rather protect yourself, and whether the risk of being caught with a gun in the truck, if you're careless, is greater than the chance that you might have to defend your life. So I'm cool with whatever people want to do. I'm just here to let people know how they can do it better if they do want to carry in a truck through their choice in concealed carry clothing or gun or holster and things like that.
Cool. What about on your bucket list of guns? What's next? Like, what's the next one you just know you got to have?
Ooh, if I could have anything I wanted for reals,
anything.
HK MP5.
There you go. That's a common one on this show.
Yeah, my master has one, which is cool. He owns an HK MP5 and got to shoot it with my ammo, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the rate of fire on that is?
What's that?
You know what the rate of fire on an HK MP5 is?
I don't know what the rate of fire is, but I fired one in Georgia.
It's about $17 a minute.
Yes, I can agree to that. I shot that. We got to shoot that one, and then the G36, which was my favorite. That was a fun gun to shoot.
Those are cool. Yeah, actually $17 a minute would be very low. More like $15 a second. You know.
Yeah.
You can empty a magazine pretty quick. Those are awesome. I love the way that gun feels. It's fairly easy to control. You know, not a lot of muzzle rise. 9mm. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a H&K.
The snobby gun company.
Yeah, exactly.
I want one though.
So, yeah.
I want 2 or 3 of them actually.
But if I was going to an actual gun that I can actually obtain, it would be a Nighthawk Custom Costa Tactical for sure.
Now, is
45.
Nighthawk Custom the same Nighthawk Custom Training Academy?
Nighthawk Custom Training Academy is associated with Nighthawk Custom, but only in that John shoots Nighthawk Custom guns, and they put their name on the academy. They don't actually run it.
Okay.
That is totally owned by John Holloway.
There's a new 1911 company here in Franklin, Tennessee that I went by their little manufacturing area. I wouldn't say plant. It's not quite that big. But it is a sweet gun, and I think that might be one of the next ones I get. It's Maximus Arms. The first one they came out with was a Gladiator. And it's cool because they made sure all the parts and all the production and everything equaled out to a retail price of $17.76. I'm like,
oh, nice.
I'm like,
That's cool.
Yeah, good year.
Well, look, one of the cool things about living in the unnamed state, or also known as Arkansas, is that it's pretty much the world center of the 1911.
Yeah,
the
because
custom
Wilson's
1911
there, right?
is up in Berryville. Yeah, Berryville, Arkansas is like the world center of the custom 1911 with Wilson Combat, Les Baer.
Les Baer's there too?
I believe so, yes.
Wow. And Nighthawk?
Also, Nighthawk Custom.
Wow. That's cool.
And so I would love to have one, but I do not own one, and no, I don't get it. I could maybe get a discount, but it still would only get me on the waiting list. It's a 2-year waiting list to get a Nighthawk Custom right now.
Interesting.
But yeah, that Costa is pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. They had one. Where was I when I saw that one? I can't even remember.
Have you ever been to the Outpost Armory in Christiana? Okay.
In fact, that may have been where I saw the Costa. That Costa is a nice 1911. Now, talking about training, you have got something coming up in the next week, right? Or is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, by the time this comes out, May 17th and 18th, I'll be hosting Masada Ayub in Conway, Arkansas, and he'll be teaching the MAG 20 classroom citizens rules of engagement. That basically teaches folks anything that they're going to need to know beforehand as far as the laws that apply for the judicious use of deadly force in a self-defense incident.
That's one of our goal classes, is to go do something with him at some point. I know we weren't able to do the one with you this year, but you said you were going to have one next year we're going to try to make.
I'm sure there will be one next year. If this one is, I've sold out the live fire portion that I will be instructing. That includes the marksmanship and cover positions and stances and things like that. That one's sold out, but there are still a few seats left for the classroom with Masada Ayub, and that can be registered by going to NighthawkCustomTraining.com. That's May 17th and 18th in Conway. It's in the central portion of the state, so if anybody is in that part of Arkansas, we'd love to have you. It's going to be at the Microtel Inn and Suites.
And it's not that bad a drive as long as you get past Little Rock.
I've driven to. I used to drive for Interstate Distributor in Lebanon, in the Mount Juliet area.
Oh yeah.
Right between there, yeah. And I forget what it was, 4.5 hours from where I live to there, something like that. 4.5 or 5 from Nashville area to Conway. It's not terrible, and it's totally worth it. I mean, this is an education in when you can use deadly force, and
Right.
whether or not you may decide. There are people who have decided not to carry a gun anymore because they couldn't really stomach the idea of what might happen afterwards.
Yeah.
As far as the psychological damage that can occur. But, the reason why you take a course like that is to prepare yourself mentally, knowing what will happen, and it can lessen the blow of what might happen afterwards.
Sure, and it's like we were joking earlier when we said after we took the concealed carry class that you feel like, oh, I know everything there is to know about guns until you take that first training like this or some tactical training, and then you're like, oh my God, if I would have got into a firefight, I would have died. And it's kind of that realization moment of, I didn't know crap, and I need to keep training the rest of my life. And kind of like Paul Markel says, be a student of the gun from the moment you pick one up.
I am not a proponent of mandatory training, but
Right.
I think that anybody who is, and it'd be pretty self-serving as a person gets paid to train people, but anybody who's an actual responsible person, a logical, responsible person inherently knows that they need some training. Okay, I wouldn't go buy a brand new Husqvarna chainsaw and think that I'm going to go chop down the first tree I see, because I will lose a limb.
Mm-hmm.
I will bleed to death on my lawn if I try to do that. I need somebody to show me how to use this thing.
Yep.
I mean, you don't get into a car and just start driving it, or an 18-wheeler, and the first day you get an 18-wheeler, you're lucky if you move it 50 feet. You need some knowledge, and I think that you don't even need a high school education to drive a truck, but you inherently know that you need training in order to do it. And
go ahead.
If you have the power of life and death on your hip at any time, don't you think you want to know when you can use that deadly force?
Oh yeah.
And you want to end up as a jackass that ends up on the news
Heck yeah.
for using your gun at the wrong time, and you're that guy that ruins it for the rest of us who are responsible.
And I'm in the same boat too. I don't feel that it should be mandatory for training, but for our cause and everybody out there listening, if you're sitting around, you just bought a Glock 19 and you think you're good to go, please, for the sake of gun rights, go get some training. I
would encourage you to do that. And you don't have to do it with me. You can do it with Rob Pincus. You can do it with Gabe Suarez, or any number of folks that are qualified to do that. My friend Bob Main is a great trainer.
Don't do it with us.
If you come to one of my classes, I'm not a tactical guy. You're supposed to ask me if I have any law enforcement or military background.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot to ask me that.
Well,
I don't.
I'm
just a guy that decided that I wanted to go take self-responsibility for my personal protection.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taken a lot of training, and I'm good at it. I mean, I've learned how to shoot through the methods that are taught through Masada Group. And
he's giving you $5 bills.
I've got a $5 bill.
Okay.
But I also know that there's folks out there that are intimidated by the tactical operators, and I like those guys too. But I'm the guy that will talk in plain language. I'm not going to call a dynamic critical than anything other than what it is. And it's an attack. I might have a dynamic privacy moment later when I take it. I call things what they are in plain language.
Yes.
Rob Pincus is cool, and one of the guys that I work with at the place that's hosting Mag 20 is a combat-focused shooting instructor.
Oh, cool. Which one is it?
His name is Tom DuPriest.
Yeah. Okay.
And and he's at Shoot House USA. That's where we're holding it. And I think all that stuff is cool. And I call my weapons platform a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Or my weapon system, I call it a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's cool for all. I love buzzwords and jargon, and I do shave my head.
Yeah.
And I understand what they're talking about, but look, I like talking to truck drivers, and I want truck drivers to come out and realize that they have every right in the world to protect themselves as much as anybody else, and that's who I'd love to market to.
How do they sign up for the class again?
If you want to sign up for that Mag 20 classroom, Citizens Rules of Engagement, you go to NighthawkCustomTraining.com.
Cool.
And that's the May 17th and 18th event in Conway.
And thank you so much for joining us here at the Wink Wink Hint Hint NRA convention, Chaz.
Yeah. I'm here from the floor of the NRA convention. I can barely see anybody. I do see the ballistic bouffant hovering above the rest of the crowd.
That's awesome. The ballistic bouffant. Great. And we do apologize. We know one of the interviews you just heard before Chaz came on, the audio got a little wonky. At some point between one interview and another, the mixing board got messed with, so we had a couple of interviews that were kind of cave moment sounding. And there will be a next week's show too. So,
yeah, the universe was conspiring to keep us apart. It couldn't happen. I think perhaps a weird little man up in Illinois perhaps was screwing with the iTunes feed or something and the Skype, and you can't make it. You cannot stop us. We're, like we said, we're headed downhill on fire, no pants.
And I paid money to do it.
Exactly.
All right, Chaz, since you were going to be the end of the first part of NRA, we're going to let you do the sign-off. And as always, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer. And also your pistol grease.